Day 46, Mission Bay. Mission Bay is, honestly, in just on par with the rest of San Francisco. One of those weird places that you kind of just have to visit to get the sense of. My ex called it like Disney Pixar. Mission Bay, the area that is now Mission Bay, there was nothing there when I was growing up. My memory of Mission Bay was that our prom after party was across the street from the ballpark. Well, first off, where is Mission? No, I'll get to that in a second. Across the street from the ballpark, which is, again, where Mission Bay is now. And we could not get a single taxi to stop for us. We had to walk from there to Mission Street, which is about mile and a half, in like all our prom get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. That was quite an experience because, of course, wasn't no Uber and Lyft when I was growing up. Anyway, where is Mission Bay? Mission Bay is bordered by Dogpatch, Potrero Hill-ish, China Basin, and literally the San Francisco Bay. That's Mission Bay. Nothing was there when I was growing up. I've already said that. Now there's literally something like 6,500 apartment units. I don't know how many buildings, but it's all luxury because it's all brand new. I was reading somewhere that like Mission Bay in like a decade, I think it was 2010 to 2020, the population increased by 200%. Which to me makes a lot of sense because, again, wasn't shit there. There was nothing in Mission Bay. Excuse me. So Mission Bay, for the longest time, was owned by the railway company. And after the earthquake and fires, they started to dump things there. Just in general, that was like a dump yard. So when they filled it in, nowadays, and I know I'm probably not using all the correct terminology, I'm not a civil engineer, but aside from like luxury apartment buildings, some percentage of them are below market rate, which they have to be, but literally folks, I'm not just talking out of my butt. Like, I have worked in my pet care business. I've worked in every corner of San Francisco, and like, you need money to live in Mission Bay. It's all like, don't even get me started on HOA fees. In actual Mission Bay, those are condos. Most of those are condos. They're not all, but it's like luxury apartments and condos. So those are like owned. And what I found is that there's actually a good amount of families that live in Mission Bay. It's a lot of like CEOs and, typical tech trash. But also, because so much of that land is owned by UCSF, there's a good amount of student housing. So a lot of like postgraduates live in Mission Bay as well. So Anyway. Features of Mission Bay. UCSF, the Chase Center, and it is now where the T3rd train runs, which I'm going to do a whole other video just about the T3rd train because I remember when they put that train in. And that part of San Francisco was not connected to the rest of San Francisco before they put that train in. And actually, even 100 years going into the past, 100 years ago, before they put the train in and before they put anything at Mission Bay, they literally had to cut into San Francisco to connect that part from the rest. Again, I know I'm not explaining this the best, but the best way to understand it is to literally look at a map and see how Mission Bay is kind of situated compared to the rest of San Francisco. So that's Mission Bay for you.